Hi, everyone. I'm Christopher Thornycroft with Redwood Logistics, and welcome to the Redwood Rundown for the week of October 17th, 2022. Well, we are in the mid-October doldrums. This is traditionally the time where we see softening freight volumes until we get to the end of the month and that first week of November, and we start to see that push take place for holiday retail. But this year, we are feeling this even more so. There's been a lot of cooling in some major markets, especially when you look at year over year. Last year, we were looking at the Los Angeles market during this week at between 14 and 15 to 1. This year, 2.9 to 1 as far as the load to truck ratio goes. So obviously that market's cooled down a lot. And then what's happened? Well, as we predicted and as we told you was going to happen, the Northeast continued to pick on up and has been tighter for capacity than it seasonally would be. Right now, we've got key markets like Elizabeth, New Jersey, around 4.6 to 1. Watch for the East Coast markets to continue to pick up freight volumes as that freight has been diverted from over in California to the East Coast. That will likely continue the push of goods through to the East Coast through January. Until we get to that spot, we're going to continue to see that freight diversion, that push over there, and the coming down of freight volumes in California. Without that big center of gravity of freight volumes impacting the rest of the Pacific Northwest, we could see a lot more capacity in that area for some time to come as well. The outbound tender volume index continues to drop. We're just below 11,300 right now. Again, at this point in time last year, we were north of 15,000. So obviously a pretty big drop off in the demand, most notably spot. However, we are starting to see some of our customers starting to utilize that spot market for their lower volume contract lanes. That won't add to the outbound tender volume index, however, because that'll be freight that's just pulled out of contract and instead tendered on over to spot, as opposed to when we see that overinflation in the outbound tender volume index, that's from freight that gets tendered as contract, rejected, and then retendered again as spot. So watch for a natural move to that spot market without necessarily the boost of that outbound tender volume index as we saw over the last couple of years. That's all we have for this week. Thank you very much. Take care.